logical consistent is required for science. In this video, I'm going to bring up the issue of current physics, which is logically inconsistent. And let's start out with common sense, and also you can quickly analyze this common scenario. When you talk about pressure always goes from high pressure to low pressure. And then you translate it into density for a given temperature. The higher density, say, of this compressed gas can here, which is of course high pressure inside, and if I release it, it will go from high pressure to low pressure. And so that is common sense. But now, it's not possible for the pressure you release to recompress itself, go back into this here, or recompress into a little ball back into the same density here. So that's given. So itself in the system, it can, a system cannot do work on itself without, require work. So in order to get compression back. So for example, in this case, you have a pump. And if you do a lot, you will see that the compressed gas, here is going to be warm because work, I do the work into it, compress back in. So that is, the way that energy have to conserve, because if I do that work done, then energy must come from somewhere. In this case, it comes from me. And if you talk to them, and when we refer to more technically in the thermodynamic and entropy, in this case, if you consider the compressed gas, high density are more or less ordered here, but when they go out, it's diffused outward, so it cannot come back in, or the probability of it somehow all the gas that got released collect itself and compress itself back is zero. Or unless something else operates on it, some work got done on it. So why is matter? And so it's not. I try to. Let me see. In order to consider something, you have to show there's a problem, and you have a solution to it. It's not like saying a solution, come up with something, and looking for problems. In this case, it will demonstrate that this problem exists, and our current physics not addressing it, and the entire physics based on something that is not logical, in terms of really consistency is not there, or the common sense tell you. Okay, so let's bring the scenario of the where I use magnet a lot because it's easy to deal with. So basically, this is just a magnet here I put on the back of this piece of paper, and I'm going to put the iron filament on here. Okay. This is just a magnet here, and I tape on the back of this piece of cardboard here, and I got iron filament, and a lot of it, and I'm going to put on the of course you're going to see that we have a magnetic field around, but what's important here is you can see the complete field. Sorry, it will take a little time here. I may And you can, okay, I think that you see enough of the field. Is one more. Okay, so each pole, and if you measure it, there's a higher density of magnetic field here. Higher density, meaning that, okay, pressure. Again, we're talking about before, higher pressure. And so when you have high pressure, it go, let's say it flow from current, or physics also say it flow from one pole to another. Or you can flow either direction, it doesn't matter. It's about pressure here. The density here higher. So as you release it, similar to this, it go out. In order for it to go around and come back on the high density, you need a pump. You need work on itself. So this is, if work got done, who did the work? And if it always happens, it stay like this, that means this work is perpetual. So there are many problems with this. Not only is logic inconsistent, but also the common sense of thermodynamic. Energy must conserve. Entropy from basically here from order, and when it can free itself, it diffuse. There's no reason for it to go back. So this is the inconsistency. You see, there's a consistency that we well know, and this got accepted. I mean, if not addressed, is that it somehow that whatever term it is, you can use what the quantum domain, it doesn't address the fundamental consistency of high pressure go to low pressure. There's no reason for it to go back to high pressure unless work got done. And of course, if the work get done, have to be done by something. But if it's done by in a perpetual loop, then you have a perpetual motion machine, which is also violating the common sense thing of thermodynamic law. Is energy must conserve. You cannot create or destroy energy. You have to conserve. So, you see in the magnetic field, the theory of magnetism and how the field flow. The current explanation is inconsistent, logically inconsistent. So it failed the most fundamental requirement of what science to be. It have to be consistent. High density, when it wanted high density, it cannot go back to high density again. Wanted to go to low density. Or high pressure, low pressure, cannot go back to high pressure again unless work got done on it. So this is the problem. I introduce it so that I have solution, but problem is to be recognized. If we don't see as a problem, then introducing as a solution is, well, either pointless or waste of time for all of us. And of course, is that only the problem? And I said, well, I'm holding up this object here. I applied all physics. Actually, I more than just, okay, there's a magnet things. I hold this plier here against gravity. So I put work here. I hold it. That means gravity have to do work, because otherwise if you push against it, then it will fly away, right? Because I push up. So here the me against gravity. So gravity is not just a simple or fancy way to put it, mathematically curve space. No, it's a force because I can push it, I can feel it, and I work against it. So if the force constantly pushes against it, and if I leave it permanently or indefinitely, so energy, the force, it keeps flowing from here to here. So who applied the force? It seems like infinity. That means you have perpetual motion machine with infinity source. That is just energy get created constantly. Just like if you think gravity, like say water, pushing it down on this thing, well, you need a pump. Something go up for it to go back down. Otherwise, you violate again. It's the law of thermodynamics. Energy must conserve, because otherwise you have a perpetual motion machine. So I think that consistency, logical consistency, have to apply. So the world, or in the current science or physics, just based on inconsistency. Until that consistency applied to the fundamental basic of whether gravity or magnetic or sort of field, everything else based on it actually is inconsistent. Anyway, hopefully that you see that this is a problem. Big problem. Then, if you're curious, then again, I can talk more about it. And so, how, if possibly, you can have this scenario when work been applied, so you can have high density again, but without heating up. That means, hey, what is that mechanism? Have to be plausible, not let go on the worker in from a different dimension, whether quantum dimension or string dimension or all these, or in the parallel universe. All those things are it's a band-aid or some sort of a psychotic way of explaining that something that is just mechanical. It's common sense.